The panel's ready for fan folding now, and this is the left panel because the return edge, if you hang that on the rod, the return is on the left, so it is the left panel, and the leading edge with the pretty trim is on the inside. So that makes this the inside leading edge. This is the return, so it's the left panel, which doesn't matter for folding, but it's just some information for you. I'm going to start at the top by lining up the first 2 pins, which will end up being the first pleat right here. The little extra at the end is called the return, which is 3 inches, and then this pleat is 7 inches. So if I measure from the return to the fold of the pleat, we have about 6 3/4. So I want to measure 6 3/4 down here at the bottom, and then check all the way up to see that I have the same amount folded underneath. You want to start off with an even amount of fabric, quarters, and if it's too much, roll it back till it's the right amount. And I can feel where that edge is. That helps me measure. I'm just making little adjustments. It's important that it's folded accurately, because as these sit around waiting for install day, if they're folded crooked, then they're going to train to hang crooked. So by folding these with the right amount of fabric folded over every time, the pleat will hang with the fabric in the right position all the way to the floor. So it'll hang nice and parallel. Each pleat will hang parallel from the top all the way to the bottom. And spending a little time fan folding with accurate measurements when it's a solid will get you a proper hanging drapery. If this was a pattern, you could use the pattern to follow all the way down each pleat. But when it's a solid, the best method is to measure each pleat. This one is from this pleat to this pleat, it's 10 3/4. So I'll fold that at the top and then grab that much at the bottom. And then when you're by yourself, you just want to try to guide the middle part over as you get the top and bottom set, and then try to ensure that the same amount of fabric has been pulled over with each fold. And in this case, I can see that the seam of the half width is laying really consistently straight, and to be really sure, I can measure it all the way down and make adjustments. It's a little bit skinny here. And so as you're going, whenever you get to a seam, you can use that to test your accuracy as you're folding. And then if you see any wrinkles as you're folding, you can press them. Or any fuzzies. If you have the same amount of fabric in each pleat and each space all the way across, then you only have to measure once. But I made a few adjustments to get the seams to land in the spaces. So I'm going to just measure each one to make sure I'm really accurate. Ten and a half on that one. The last one was 10 3/4. They're going to be very close to the same from pleat to pleat, but each one could be off by that 1/4 inch or so. So I'm trying to catch those little differences and adjust. 10 5/8. Same. Here's this row of pins that is helping keep the lining together. So once I'm done fan folding the whole thing, I'll dig those out. 10 5/8. And here we have another seam, so I can measure that and see how I'm doing. So up at the top, I have 6 7/8 from the seam to the fold. And then down here, I have 6 3/4. So I'm gonna widen that by 1/8 of an inch. So now I'm at 6 7/8. So it was pretty close. Need to adjust a little bit down the center. It kind of shows you if you're pulling too much or not enough fabric as you go. Each fabric is going to handle differently, so checking your seam is going to be a good indication of how to handle each kind of fabric that you're tabling and fan folding. If you have a helper, you can have somebody at the bottom, somebody at the top. The person at the top can call out the number, and then the person at the bottom can measure over that much. It goes a little faster. If you're by yourself, it's totally doable. Ten and a half over here. Almost there. 2 more folds. And then this last one, I'm going to fold it and then measure it. 7 1/8. Okay, 7 1/8 all the way down. And then before I tie it up, I'm gonna dig out those pins. Now that I know where they are, I'm gonna start at the top and carefully remove them without poking myself and without disturbing the folds. It's definitely an accomplishment to get a drapery to this stage. You can kind of feel that it's just about done. I already hand stitched the corners. All that's left is to pleat the pleats and tack the pleats and then insert the drapery hooks. Okay, now I can tie it up. It's too short. I always have some extra strips of fabric for this purpose. So now it'll stay folded just as neatly as I am leaving it so that it's training correctly while we wait for install day. And then I'll be careful as I move it around to get the tacking done and the pleating done that I don't disturb these folds. And I'm trying not to tie these too tight, otherwise I'll get a little crease on the edges. Okay, one more to fold, or one more to table and fan fold, and then they're all to the same stage. Start my fan folding by measuring at the top. I'm going to line up my first 2 pins, which are, I have the return measured over here at 4 inches, and then the first pleat is 6.5, 6 3/4 inches. And so by folding it in half and lining up those first 2 pins, I can measure from the end of the return to the fold of the pleat, and I'm at 7.5 inches. So I want to measure that same amount down here, 7.5. I'm going to put my thumb right at that 7.5 inch mark, fold it under, and then check that distance all the way down. You want to get that first fold nice and even, because every fold after that gets measured basically off of this one. And if you need to make any adjustments, do that at this point before you move on. Okay. And clamping the top and bottom are gonna be like having an extra set of hands so that you can do this by yourself. If you had somebody to help you, you can have one person at the top and one person at the bottom, and that would really speed it up. But it's not impossible by yourself, just a little bit more clumsy. So for the next one, I'm gonna fold over again and line up the 2 pins that make the next pleat. And then I'm going to measure the distance from this new fold to this first fold, which is 10.5. And then I'll turn that fold, clamp it down, and then come down here, measure that 10.5 inches, mark it with my thumb. And because it's clamped over there, I can pull on it, and it creates that fold all the way down really nice and consistently. And now that I have that measurement of 10.5, it should be the same all the way through, because all my pleats and spaces are the same. So I don't have to keep measuring that. I can just keep turning them up here. I do, however, have to measure down here to make sure I'm grabbing the right amount. So 10.5 is the number, and this will just get taller and taller as we go. And you can just make sure it's folded underneath and then keep going. Just want to keep lining up those pins at the top. And a half. And then after this is folded, I will take the whole panel to the walking foot and stitch the pleats into place. And it will be really organized because it's nice and folded, and it's already going to start to train. I'm going to put my little rolling cart over here to hold that clamp every time I take it off. This gets easier as I keep making draperies and panels. Just like anything else, the more you do it, the easier and faster it gets. It's kind of exciting to get to this point in a drapery because that means you're almost done. Done all the cutting, done all the tabling, side hems, marked the pleats and spaces. All that's left is to sew the pleats, tack the pleats, put in the drapery hooks, and bag it up. If this fabric had a pattern on it, I would use the pattern as a guide rather than measuring. So if it was maybe a flower, I would follow that flower all the way down, and then I would know I was on track because I could see the panel or the pattern all the way down, folded at the same spot. When it's a sheer, solid, or even a solid drapery, if there's no pattern, you only have your measurements to go by. You want to try to be as accurate as possible because once you train your drapery, it's a little bit harder to untrain it and retrain it because the pleats are set, and you might have to spend some time with a steamer to make any adjustments. Getting there. I think this panel has 26 pleats. All of my pins are lined up at the top here and staying organized, getting my steps in today. I have a stack of ties ready to go here, so when I'm finished, I can tie it up and it won't fall over on me. There are a few designers out there who do not like their drapes fan folded, and they usually tell you if they prefer a different method of folding and transporting, but for the most part, my clients like their drapes fan folded, and as do I. But most installers appreciate it too because it makes them look good when they hang a drape that's already trained. Makes them look like the professionals that they are, and they might have to do a little bit of dressing and steaming, but not as much as if they were not fan folded. We always like to keep our installers happy. Okay, getting to the end here. Let's see how even I come out at the end. That'll tell the story. Let's see how much is left. Looks pretty even top to bottom with what's left, so that's a good sign. If I had a lot more or a lot less left over at the bottom as I do at the top, that means I was grabbing either too much or not enough at the bottom. If it was way off, I would want to go back and make some adjustments. Just a little bit off, I could make adjustments, just back a few pleats, not all the way. But if it's way off, there's a problem. This fabric has been railroaded, so there's no seams, which is awesome. But when I have a drapery with a seam, I can check my folding as I go according to the seams. And those seams are references that I can look at to see if I'm folding evenly from top to bottom. So when I don't have seams to follow, then it's a little bit harder to see if I'm on track. I have a space here that looks a little bit smaller than the rest of them for some reason. So I'm gonna look and see what happened here. It's gonna make that one a little bit, it's only off by 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Okay, 2 more. One. I should have 7.5 inches left, and that looks good. And then I can tie up the whole drapery, and just organizing some of these folds that are slipping in. And this one off. This is the selvage that I cut off at the bottom hem. Makes nice ties. Okay, a couple more ties at the top, and I'm tying these not too tight, not too loose. If you go too tight, you'll crease these folds, and we don't want any extra creases. But if it's too loose, all these folds will move around. So there's always that happy medium. So that's a little tight. I'll just loosen it a little bit until it's just right. One more up here, and then I'll leave the top open so that I can work on the pleats when I'm ready to. I'll probably have to undo this tie right here, but it'll keep it organized until I'm ready, because I need to move it off the table. So I might even put one around the top just temporarily so I can move it and won't go anywhere. Yeah, that looks awesome. Looks like a happy drape to me. Yay!